When it comes to combat, we really want to push this idea that he is this master of improvisation. He's not, 15 years old. He's not just getting used to his powers. We definitely wanted to play up the fact that he has the ability to juggle between webs, melee, environment action, and gadgets, and switch between them pretty quickly to give you a lot of player choice within each setup. The very basics of combat starts with melee, right? You have your square button and keep hitting it in a nice rhythm and you're gonna do some really cool attacks. But that's kind of the start. You use that to kind of begin the rest of your abilities, whether it's holding it down and launching a guy up in the air and then pressing it down again to jump up with him and continue attacking, then pressing triangle to web strike down, holding web strike to grab guys and throw them. It kind of starts with the basics of melee. We really want to get you off the ground and using your acrobatics, using your gadgets, and using your webs to feel more like Spider-Man. We really want to play to Spider-Man's strengths. We just didn't want it to be a brawler, right? He's so much more acrobatic and he really has that sense of fluidity and flow in combat. But it's not just on the ground, it's constantly going back up and down, left and right, and using the environment to really deliver that idea of improvisation, and you're kind of in control of that improvisation. So I think of all the little things that you can experiment with. One of my favorite things to do is to punch a guy up in the air and then just slam him down, right, with my webs. But I was experimenting the other day with, hey, what if I punch him in the air and then I start webbing him up? And then I pull him down, and I noticed that the combat team had added the ability to, if he has a bunch of webs on him and then I slam him down, he's now stuck to the ground. It's those little things that you discover as you're playing the game. And since it's less combo based, it's more move and ability based, you can really start to experiment on. Or for example, you'll be punching a guy near a scaffolding and then you do the web shooters and now he'll stick to the scaffolding and then another guy comes by and you can pull the scaffolding on the rest of them. So it's just kind of that experimentation. It lets you start to really try out a lot of different things because there's a lot of different enemies coming at you. They're coming from all different angles, all different weapons, and using that to your advantage. I think it felt more sandboxy than I ever thought it actually would be. There are going to be moments where you definitely want to go in, it's going to be fast, and it's going to be hectic, but there are going to be opportunities, depending on how you want to play the game, where you actually can slow things down a bit, be a little bit more strategic, a little bit more cerebral, and actually take guys out without even alerting others. So you can kind of thin the herd before you go into it in strike. You have that flexibility within the game. We said this is more experienced Spider-Man he's been doing for 8 years, so we want you to feel like a hero right away, but we want you to feel like a greater hero over time. So we're gonna have a pretty deep progression system where you can unlock new moves and abilities over time, but also craft new gear, new suits and suit mods, and even you'll be improving the abilities of your gadgets over time. So when I thought about why Insomniac would be such a good fit for Spider-Man, one of the reasons why was our experience with making gadgets. And what's great is that you can access them in-game via a gadget wheel, just like you would see in a Ratchet game or Sunset Overdrive or even the original Resistance. We have the tripwire. I like it because it's so multifaceted, so you can use it. You can be perched above a bunch of enemies and they could be on patrol and you can stick it to an environment and they'll be walking by a wall and they'll get slammed into the wall, which is really cool. But at the same time, if you say you are in the middle of a fight and you place on an enemy and another enemy walks by, they slam together. So it's just a great multifaceted gadget. We have the web bomb, which is great for crowd control. It's just fun to be in the middle of 5 or 6 guys, throw it out, kind of rises in the air, and then just webs go everywhere. Now you can melee the guys, hit them up in the air. What I like to do is send out a line, grab one, start twirling them around your head, and then toss them into the others. One of my favorites is the spider drone, the little guy that hovers above and shoots these rapid fire webs at enemies. You can either use to distract enemies or set you up for attacks. It has the personality of both Peter and Insomniac. So in some of our city activities, we'll have the main objective, okay, you gotta stop this storefront robbery, or you gotta stop this drug deal happening. But some of these objectives will actually have sub-objectives like complete 5 finishers or take 3 guys out with your tripwire, those kind of things. So they're actually a lot of replayability, but at the same time, you get extra stuff that you can use for customization. So it's kind of yeah, you completed the Fisk base, but did you complete all sub-objectives? Because that'll give you actually more currency to bring back and use into customization and progression. So it's really important for us that we want players to be the Spider-Man they want to be, so they can unlock the skills and the abilities that they want to. But at the same time, we talked about the gear and the gadgets and the suits and all the activities in the city that you complete will all contribute to things you need to craft those items. So we really want to make sure that not only you feel like a great superhero, but you're the superhero that you want to be.
Hey everyone, welcome to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. So I'm bringing you more Spider-Man PS4 news. Just to let you know, Game Informer is doing daily updates of the game since we're sort of close to the release date. Now is the perfect time to bring up the hype. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for my giveaway. It's for the Spider-Man Collector's Edition for the PS4. I'm going to be doing that giveaway all through summer until the release date, which is September 7th. So today's video is on the combat of the Spider-Man game. In this video, Brian Intihart talks about how Spider-Man is able to improvise easily in combat and how he easily juggles between combat, webs, and gadgets. This is a more seasoned Spider-Man who's been Spider-Man for 8 years. He also talks about how the game gives you a lot of player choice when it comes to using your abilities and being able to switch in between all your abilities and acrobatics. Insomniac really outdid themselves when it comes to bringing out the most of Spider-Man. They essentially didn't want to make Spider-Man mainly just a brawler. They basically made him for you to freely experiment a lot more, whether if you want to be more a fast-paced player, strategic, slowed down, experimented with combos, stealthy, base your combat on gadgets, whatever the case, you can feel and be the Spider-Man you want to be, and that's not even getting into costume customization. So executing the combat system in a superhero game is the nail on the coffin. Just like the Batman Arkham games, one of the best aspects of those games was the utilization of the combat system and the gadgets, especially the gadgets. You truly feel like the Batman when using the toys that Batman is expected to use. Sorry to compare it to Batman, but it's the only decent comparison I have when it comes to playing a game where you feel like the superhero you're playing as. I'm not sure if any inspiration was drawn from the Arkham games, but it's safe to say that this Spider-Man utilizes more tech more than any other Spider-Man I've seen in a game, and kind of like Batman in his solo game. So there's tons of flexibility in this game. You can craft gear, improve the abilities of your gadgets in the game, improve your suits, customize your suits, do suit mods, enhance your web swinging speed, augment your combat. All the essentials that make you a better Spider-Man are all in the game. So far, my favorite gadget is the web tripwire. It's that gadget that attaches to a wall and webs enemies that walk through the tripwire light. One gadget I am curious about is the spider drone. There wasn't any footage of that, but basically it's a drone that fires webs at enemies, mainly to distract enemies or to set yourself up for a first attack, and that gadget will only be exclusive to the Spider-Man Collector's Edition owners. Another reason to participate in the giveaway and to own the Collector's Edition. Like previous Spider-Man games, there are sub-objectives to complete. You know, you have your main story, then you have side quests, and completing these side quests or sub-objectives can earn you more points, so you can use these points as currency to upgrade your gear, swing speed, customization, and progression. It's better to work for upgrades rather than pay for them, like microtransactions, because this game does not have any microtransactions. That's one of the funniest things that was brought up in this rapid fire question video, where the interviewer asked if there was going to be any microtransactions. Then Brian Intihart said, hell no.
Microtransactions.
Hell no.
Microtransactions get a bad rep these days, so that's good that we don't have to dish out any additional dollars. I mean, as is, the Collector's Edition will have a lot to offer you, so it seems that Insomniac has put a lot of work and passion into this video game. They really want you to feel like the superhero you want to be, and with all of that being said, this game iteration of Spider-Man is shaping up to be the best Spider-Man game ever made. Well everyone, what do you guys think? Have these set of Spider-Man news ignited the hype even more? This game is going to be the best Spider-Man game ever made, and I stand by it. I'm really excited and I can't wait to play it. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to be considered for the Spider-Man Collector's Edition giveaway, and I will see you all in the next comic panel.
Take him down! Teach him respect!
Place is locked down, Captain. Actually, web down.